Going on, wrestling world? Welcome everyone back. Clouded Thoughts of Wrestling. This is episode 33. This episode we're gonna be doing a Raw. That was last night's Raw, August 19th. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Too sweet. Everybody, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. We still trying to get those 20 subs by August 31st. So that's by All Out, Royal Quest, and NXT Takeover Cardiff. Trying to get the 20 subs. We got 17 already, so all we need is 3 more people. So that's all we're looking for. So don't forget, if you like the channel, you like everything we talking about and everything, if you digging the thumbs up, thumbs down, too sweet, give me a like and subscribe. Subscribe. Give me a like and a subscribe, man. Share anything you can to support is always much appreciated. Right now we're gonna get into this last night's Monday Night Raw. This is one of the first times I watched Raw in a while. Actually, I watched last week's Raw for the most part, and man, I don't think it was all that bad. I really don't. I mean, it was actually really watchable for the first time. I liked how we really got more wrestling than promos and stuff, so that was also a good thing. So I mean, I didn't think it was a bad episode. It wasn't nothing real great or amazing, but I didn't think it was bad. I was actually able to watch it from start to finish. So that's just my opinion. So started off, we had Dolph Ziggler and Roman Reigns. Now Dolph Ziggler was taunting Roman Reigns, stating that he should replace him as the guy in WWE. Now that's a big joke when we all know that Dolph Ziggler has just been a big loser. He's been losing a lot lately. But then he planted the big dog with a super kick. The show off seemed to have his opponent's number. After that cheap shot, however, Reigns, he refused to stay down like he does. He even, after taking a zigzag, he still fought back. Superman punch for a near fall. Reversing, this was nice. Dolph Ziggler reversed a spear into a famouser. I really like that spot. Then Ziggler, Ziggler getting overconfident like always, rocked right into a spear. A big spear that he sold his ass off for, and end of the match, Roman Reigns wins. Now, I don't really like the whiny Dolph that they got him. I think Dolph he has the potential to be a really good heel, but no one's really taking him seriously anymore because of how many losses he's came with. He reminds me of Sami Zayn, and we'll talk about that too. I mean, these two should probably make a tag team together, I guess, and they should be called the Losers right now, because I don't know what the hell these two did or who they said or who they made mad in the back, but they have really been losing a lot. And I get that Ziggler is great at selling, and he is good at getting people over, especially, and being a heel at getting faces over and all that, but he's just, been losing a lot, and I don't really like or kind of get the promos that he's cutting about, that basically it's still like should have been me thing. So I don't know how I really feel about that. But I did like how, I would say this was one of Ziggler's better matches that he's had as of recently. He really got to, go out there and they had a decent match. And I also like when the shows start off with a decent wrestling match. I've always said that. I said we don't need a promo to start the show unless it's an important promo that's really driving a storyline. If it's not that, give us a decent match. It doesn't have to be great. Now, it would be awesome if we started off with a great match. I would like that as well. But if we started off with a decent match like we got here, I don't see anything wrong with it. Yes, Ziggler's a loser, but Roman Reigns shouldn't be taking any losses right now either, with, the position that he's being in. So you knew Ziggler was going to lose, but I just, I was surprised. I liked the super kick that started off. I liked the famouser into, how he reversed the spear and all that. And like I said, he was pretty on Roman Reigns, for most of the match. And I was, like I said, I liked how the match was able to be decent. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I think it was a thumbs up. And it was all right. It was an all right way to start Raw, for my opinion. Next, we get the Fiend shuts down King's Court. Now, the pre-tape interview, Becky Lynch called out Sasha Banks for only finding her motivation thanks to the man calling her out in interviews. Now, she questioned if the boss was ever going to be great or just follow where she led. Now, Jerry Lawler, prepared to host the King's Court with Banks, but wanted to put over the King of the Ring first. After saying he expected Raw's side to come down to Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, lights started going out. Bray Wyatt, mandible call, choked Jerry Lawler out with the mandible call. I'm going to give this another thumbs up. I like anything right now involving the Fiend. And for right now, I like how he is attacking heels. And I'm going to tell you a little idea I have about that. I'm giving this, it was a good thumbs up. And I really like that how the light started going out. I said, oh shit, Jerry, you better get the hell out of there and you better get out of there fast. And I like how he was like, I've seen this before. I'm getting out of here. And he like started getting out the ring, but I mean it's pitch black, you can't see nothing. Next time you see him, he's on the stage, and the Fiend arises from behind him and applies the mandible claw. I liked it. I like the segment. I like how they're using him. I like how he's been taking out legends in the process. Now, I don't know. This is just an idea. It's just a little theory I have. I could see Kane, because they've been advertising Kane coming back. They've been advertising Kane. They even did it, tonight. They've been showing packages of him. So, with the Fiend taking out legends, Kane is a legend. Maybe not like the legends he's taking out, but Kane is still a legend. Kane had one of the greatest re-debuting's of a wrestler I thought before I seen the Fiend. Okay? So, my opinion, could they be bringing Kane back? And I mean, if you look at the three people that right now, like, who could really get the Fiend over, you're looking at The Undertaker, you're looking at Kane, and you're looking at the Demon King. Okay, with the kind of gimmicks that they have. And I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind right now seeing Kane versus the Fiend, all for the purposes of getting the Fiend more over. And just because I've just been seeing Kane more and more and more lately, and with him attacking certain legends and all this, and they're saying Kane, the devil's favorite demon and all that, it just, to me, it kind of, maybe they're headed towards that. And that, I wouldn't mind that. That's just a little thought that I just want to throw out there. Could be just a bunch of bullshit, just me just thinking too much, but it's something I was thinking about. All right, now, The Miz and Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin. Now, I actually like this. After an early burst of energy from the baby faces, McIntyre and Corbin took over, isolating The Miz. He got to the corner of Ricochet, though, who took over. With the A-lister timely assist, the one and only hit the Lone Wolf with the recoil for the win, a.k.a. the Codebreaker. Now, I like this because it was kind of New Japan-esque, like in the G1, they'll have the tag team, the guys who are going to be facing in the tournament. Well, this place is the King of the Ring. They're going to be facing each other. Okay, with Ricochet taking on Drew and with Baron Corbin taking on The Miz. Now, they're going to be facing each other, on Raw next week. So I believe that's what New Japan does. If it's Block B's night, they'll have, certain guys that are going to be facing each other the next night. For Block A, they'll have them in tag team matches against each other. So it's almost the same thing. You can't, and I think it wasn't a bad. I give this a thumbs up as well. It wasn't a crappy match. It was a solid match. It kept up the momentum of the show, and it got everyone a chance to shine. And I will say this, Corbin looked a little better for his time off. And McIntyre, man, he's money. I want McIntyre to win the King of the Ring. That's just my opinion. Now, they all really just got in. That's why I'm giving this match a thumbs up as well, because, I liked it, and it's not like something that they just threw together, because it kind of made sense. And, New Japan does it, so, for their tournament, so it wasn't nothing bad about that. I actually enjoyed that. Now, next we had United States Champion AJ Styles versus Braun Strowman. Now, when the match was made, I mean, we all basically knew that Braun wasn't going to really walk out of here with the United States Championship. Styles struggled to get anything off of Braun Strowman and was quickly stopped mid phenomenal form with a chest chop as the monster among men set up for a running power slam. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson got involved, causing a disqualification. The OC threw Strowman into the steel post and then went for a magic killer, only for Seth Rollins to make the save. He cleared the ring and helped the monster up, evening the score from last week, because Braun came out and saved him last week. Now, backstage, the Universal Champion found his likely next challenger and stated he wanted to fight Strowman for the title next, but he first wants to deal with the OC. He stated he would request a tag team title match against Gallows and Anderson later. Now, the match, it wasn't, the match itself, I can give it a thumbs down, because it was kind of lazy, and it definitely was over really, really short. We know how good Styles is. Strowman, you could say kind of got squashed a little bit. I don't. Just the match. I mean, you could say it was a thumbs down, but it was just meant to get the OC involved, so that eventually we can have this Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman thing, which I'll get to a little bit later on. And it happened. It was going to be him and Braun taking on Anderson and Gallows for the tag team title. So we'll go over that a little bit later. Next, we had King of the Ring started as Samoa Joe versus Cesaro. Both Joe and Cesaro sounded confident in pre-taped interviews, but the Swiss Superman struck fast after the bell with a sudden European uppercut, which was nasty. Early fall, the two got physical from there on out with chops and kicks. The Samoan submission machine caught the King of Swing off the ropes with the coquina clutch for the tap out. Now, I like this match. I really liked it. It was two heels, but their execution in the ring, and they definitely proved why they should be more featured. Now, it sucks that there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. Can't everybody get over? And it kind of sucks seeing Cesaro just keep losing, because when you see him in these matches, you're like, oh my gosh, Cesaro is really, really awesome. But the thing is, the bar is really awesome. So anytime Sheamus wants to come back, him and Sheamus go right to the top of tag teams. That's just my opinion. They're good together. I really like Sheamus and Cesaro together. And it kind of sucks, but I feel like Joe really needed this one more than Cesaro, because like I said, if they wanted to, they can always throw the bar back together, and Cesaro can go on another title run and have some great tag team matches with, the other tag teams. But Joe, Cesaro's had a run. Even though it was a tag team, he still had a nice title run. Him and Cesaro were one of the top teams in WWE. Joe has not really had no momentum, and I like the way he's putting together a couple wins. So it looks good for him. Now, I don't think he'll win the King of the Ring, even though it'd be dope. But I like this match. I'm actually give this a double thumbs up. I thought it was good. I really enjoyed this match. It was probably one of my favorite matches of Raw the whole night. So good job to Cesaro and Samoa Joe starting off King of the Ring. Next, we had R-Truth as he ruins Elias' farewell concert. Basically, he was disguised as one of the Help. And then the thing that I like, though, is in the 24 championship, it seems like no one kicks up out of a pin, but Elias was able to kick out of a lot of pins. I mean, it's the 24/7 championship. What more? I don't know. I get it. My thing that I do is I don't want to see too much of it. In a little bit, it's all right. I can deal with it. But if there's like 3 or 4 scenes involving that, it's like, come on now. I don't want to just keep seeing the 24/7 championship. So, for what it was, I guess it was all right. I don't even know what to give it. So, I don't know. I give it thumbs in the middle, I guess. It didn't really do nothing for me. So, I don't want to call it a thumbs down either, because it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. It's just the 24/7 shit. We've been seeing it. It is what it is. It is whatever you want to make out of it. You either like it or you don't. Next, we had Rey Mysterio in the background. Basically, his son Dominic stops him from retiring. Rey Mysterio saying, basically, man, I've realized that I basically can't hang no more with these guys. I thought I could. It really is not in me like I thought it was. But his son Dominic comes back, and he's basically like, nah, man, you can't retire. This ain't how we're going to do it. It sucks because I feel like they should have probably had this in the ring, and maybe would have come off a little bit better than rather being backstage and then having Dominique go out there. Now, it just sucks because I don't like the way they've been doing Rey Mysterio since he came back to WWE. But now you're seeing it. It seems like it's more of a thing to really get his son, and it's about Dominic. And now I'm just to the point where I just can't wait to see Dominic in action. So I don't know. It was all right. I just feel like it would have been better if it was in the ring. Maybe came off a little bit better if it was in the ring. That's just my opinion. But I'm interested to see where this goes. So I can give it a thumbs up for the moment because I'm interested to see where this takes it, even though I'm just disappointed in how Rey Mysterio has just been utilized in WWE to this point, and it sucks that it's coming down to a storyline like this. But if it's to get Dominic some spotlight, his son, and get him, and we finally can see what Dominique's about, then hey, I can see it. I'm not mad at that. Next, we had the New Day versus the Revival. This started off good. This was a decent match. I liked it. I didn't really understand why I was on this show right now. I feel like maybe it could have been on SmackDown, but it is what it is. Now, I did love the interference from Randy Orton because the RKO came out of nowhere. That was good at camera work too on the angle because Randy just flew into the screen like out of nowhere, RKO'd Big E. And man, Kofi runs out to make the save, but took an RKO for his trouble. Scott Dawson dashed Wilder, then lifted up Xavier Woods for an elevated RKO, which was nasty. It was nasty. As the Viper forced Kofi Kingston to watch, the Revival landed a devastating knee drop on Xavier Woods' leg. I really like this. I like this. I like now it seems like we are going to get a really good match between Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton. And I really like that. And I love how this like at first I didn't know how I feel about Orton and the Revival, but man, they're doing good together. I like their little chemistry that they have between them three. And this is tough for the New Day. This is a real tough challenge, not just for Kofi, but for the New Day as well. So I like how Randy Orton is kind of partnered up with the Revival and the beatdown that they gave him. And it's just like the making Kofi Kingston watch and all that, man. I mean, you can say what you want, but I thought it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I can give this segment 2 thumbs up, man. This was a nice, good segment. It had a good tag team match to start. We got the awesome interference with the RKO out of nowhere. Then the just the whole situation. I liked it. Good. 2 thumbs up. Good job. Next, we had Sasha Banks as she refused to explain her attack on Becky Lynch. Now this, I'm sorry, Sasha, I'm going to give it a thumbs down. Only reason because I feel like you could have handled it a little better. I didn't like how it started. I just feel like it could have been a little bit better. Now, I get it. I love the heel Sasha Banks, and believe me, I know she's going to kill it, and I want her to kill it. But just this really didn't do a lot for me. I just didn't like the way she came off. I didn't like the whole thing about the hair or whatever. I mean, if you did, that's cool. But to me, I just expected a little bit something more harder from Sasha for her first little words, since she's been back. And I'm sure we'll get it, and she'll kill it. Nothing wrong with that. But for that segment, I didn't like it. Next, as we move on, we had Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville. Now, two good things I can say about this. Nikki Cross is getting TV time. You don't have to like her character, but she's being on TV. She has a championship, so she's on a little championship run. And the women tag team belts are being shown more than I've ever seen them shown. Now, say what we want about Alexa Bliss, but I mean, the girl is good on the mic. She does have good character work, and she's not that bad in the ring. A lot of people crap on her, say she's terrible. I wouldn't say she's terrible, but I mean, that's it. This wasn't a bad tag team match. I'm not going to crap on it. I'm actually give it like a thumbs up, and the only reason is because we're seeing the tag team. Now, it sucks that it's on Alexa because it's like, why couldn't they kind of do it with the Iconics? But I could see why they didn't, but it just didn't make no sense to put the belts on them then. You get me? So, we're getting Nikki Cross. She's in the title run, and we're getting the women's tag team belts focused on more than they've ever been focused on. And, I mean, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Alexa Bliss is kind of the one to do it. You know what I mean? She's not the women's champion. She's not the Raw or SmackDown, but they're going to put Alexa Bliss on TV every week. So, we're going to see the women's tag team titles every week. Better than not seeing them for TV on months at a time or only seeing them in the backstage. You get me? So that's that's good. That's not a bad thing. And people are like, oh, well, Chuck, the women's tag team titles don't mean nothing. It's like, I understand. I get it. But, hey, we're seeing them more than we ever seen them. Nikki Cross is actually getting some love. So, I mean, hell with it, man. I give it a thumbs up, whatever. Actually, it wasn't a bad tag team match either. Next, we had the King in the Ring continues with Cedric Alexander and Sami Zayn. This was a disappointment for me. I really thought that this match was going to be a lot better than it was. I'm sorry, I got to give it a thumbs down. The only positive is I do like Cedric Alexander winning because I think Cedric Alexander is awesome. When I seen him in 205 Live killing it, I said this guy has great potential, not just in 205 Live. He can go in the Raw and SmackDown and compete. Not just for a mid-card, like he can be a top star. He has that potential in him, and we're seeing it, and we're seeing it more and more, and I like that. And I like they're getting him on TV. Only thing I don't like, though, is Sami Zayn. Like, who the hell did Sami Zayn piss off backstage? Who does not like Sami Zayn? Because my man Sami has had it rough. And I'm like, if he was going to lose, I was cool, but I wanted to just have them two go at it, especially where this match was placed on the card. I really thought that they were going to really go out there and deliver me a 2 thumbs up match. And they just didn't. It felt kind of, I just don't think they're really behind Sami Zayn, and it sucks. Because if they were, we would have been given a 2 thumbs up, maybe a 2 sweet. Because these two together, I was really expecting fireworks, and it didn't deliver for me, man. So I'm sorry, I got to give it a thumbs down. But it is cool. We're getting more Cedric Alexander. He's winning. He moves on to the next round. That is a plus. That's a new face that we are seeing. So that's good. I can deal with that. I can rock with that. Next, we're going with the main event. I'm going to get on up out of here. We got the Raw Tag Team Champions, the OC, versus Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. Now, the injured ribs of Rollins served as a target for Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, who isolated the Beast Slayer to keep him away from Braun Strowman. Makes sense. The Monster Among Men was wiped out on the outside to force the champion to continue his fight on his own. Just as Styles got involved to potentially injure Rollins, Strowman recovered and cleared out both the Phenomenal One and Gallows. This set up a hot tag to the Monster, who won with a running power slam after Rollins hit the stomp on Styles. I like the action. This match wasn't a bad match. Wasn't bad at all. I give it a thumbs up. I enjoyed, the little chemistry. I like how they played the injury with Rollins and keeping him away from Braun and all that. Now, I'm going to get a match a thumbs up. It was decent. It just was a good match. Now, it sucks to me that Braun's getting a Universal title shot because he just ran down, helped Seth Rollins. Now he gets a championship shot. Don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get if you pin the champion in a tag team match, you get a title shot. No. Braun once was the man. Okay? He is not that anymore. He needs to be worked and built up towards that. Now, I'm not saying he's been catching a lot of L's lately, but I just think it's too quick, and for them to give him this title shot so quickly, just like this, it almost makes you think, well, he doesn't have any chance of winning. But what I will say is interesting is they threw them as tag team champions. Now, do I really, really like that? No, because there's so many other tag teams that can be focused on it if you really built up the tag team division. And you're just putting the tag team titles on Strowman and Rollins for a feud and storyline you have going down that's going to end in them two. And now if it's planned for more than one match, because I feel like the OC is involved in this too. The OC kind of got their hands on everything. Tag titles, mid-card, Universal a little bit. They're kind of involved in everything right now. And that's cool. That's not bad. So you can see them having something to play, especially now that they beat them for those tag titles. This is definitely not over. But there's also another feud going on between Strowman and Rollins. And it's like the only reason why Strowman came out there and helped Rollins was to get a title shot. I just felt like Strowman should have had to have like a number one contender match with someone or beat 2 people to get that championship opportunity. We're going to see where this goes. I don't know what to think of it right now. I have to see this develop further. I'm not real big on them being the tag team champions. I feel like this is almost a storyline like we've kind of seen before a little bit. And just like with the Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon, and the Roman Reigns almost being killed, like these are kind of storylines we've seen before. So I don't know how to feel about this. And if they're just putting Braun in there just because, there's really no one left for Seth right now, because you haven't built nobody else up, really. So I can see why it's Braun right now. But I got to see where the story goes and how this feud transpires, because I don't know how to feel about it right now. It's just, I don't know. The show, all in all, I give it a thumbs up. I really do. I give it a thumbs up. I can watch it from start to finish. I like that they stopped the fucking no wrestling door commercial breaks. I like how they kicked it off with a decent match. I like how it seemed like there was a little bit more kind of focus on the wrestling a little bit, you know. Now, there's still illogical. There's still some stuff where it's like, wow. But they've done them messed up a lot for a long time. So it's not going to just happen overnight. Like, they're just not going to wave a wand or snap their fingers and they're going to fix everything. Got to give it a little bit of time, and I can see them actually trying. That's the thing. Before, it seemed like they didn't care and they weren't even trying to try. Now I can see certain parts. I can see them actually starting to care and actually starting to try, and that's not bad. You know what I mean? That's not bad at all. I'll be watching SmackDown tonight. This King of the Ring tournament continues. This is the one thing that really has me involved in the Raw and SmackDown lately, along with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. But since they announced that the King of the Ring returning, I just really want to watch. That's a reason to have me watch Raw and SmackDown, because it's like Raw had a little bit of different feel to it. It had to feel like Raw mattered. It mattered to watch Raw. You know, and I believe that has something to do with the Fiend, and it has something to do with King of the Ring. And you want to see where they're going to lead Seth Rollins now, you know, and it's interesting a little bit to me. So let me guys know what you think. What kind of rating would you give Raw? What was your favorite part of Raw? Comment section is always open. I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. I'm going to get on up out of here. You know how we do it. Conquer your goals, live your dreams, spread that love, spread that peace. And I'm out.